Zimbabwe's Constitutional Amendment number 3. Bill has reached another critical milestone. After hours of debate in the Senate, the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi, has praised senators from across the political spectrum for what he described as a robust, respectful, and constructive debate. In a significant moment, 55 senators took part in the discussion, offering their views on one of the country's most closely watched pieces of legislation. Now, the bill has entered the committee stage, where every clause will be examined in detail before the legislative process moves forward. Supporters say this demonstrates democracy at work. Critics insist that every amendment must continue to face rigorous scrutiny. So, what happened inside the Senate? Why did Minister Ziyambi thank members from both sides of the House? And what exactly happens during the committee stage? Stay tuned. And before we continue, please subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications for daily Zimbabwe political news and analysis. Let's get into it.
The result of the count is that 75 honorable senators have voted in favor of the third reading of the bill, and 4 have voted against the bill.
We had a robust debate, and I must state that about 55 honorable senators debated, and of those 50 were in favor and only 5 had dissenting voices. But by and large, it was an enriching debate. And I must add that what came out is that this House was not just a rubber stamping House. They managed to pick things that we didn't identify in the National Assembly, and we corrected them here. So what we did is we had amendments that were proposed by the Senate that we felt we needed to include. For example, we had omitted the procedure for the first sitting of Parliament after an election, and Senate highlighted that, and other consequential amendments that Senate felt we needed to do, and we duly did that. And thereafter, Senate voted. I think it was overwhelming. You saw the vote that before the tailors could even count, it was very clear that the Senate had agreed to the bill in their numbers. So what is going to happen now is we are going to take the amendments proposed by the Senate to the National Assembly, and hopefully we'll consult His Excellency, because we had adjourned the National Assembly until the 7th of July, but we need to recall the National Assembly so that we deliberate on the amendments proposed by Senate. So hopefully next week we should conclude the business of CAB3 and we move forward.
When you say concluding the business of CAB3, what exactly do you mean after all these processes? What will take place after?
After we recall the National Assembly and they have considered the amendments proposed by the Senate, the bill will then be transmitted to His Excellency for his assent and signature. And once that is done, it now becomes part of our constitution and it will become operational.
Zimbabwe's Senate has entered another important chapter in the consideration of Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill. Following its passage through the National Assembly, the bill is now undergoing detailed examination in the Senate, where lawmakers continue debating the proposed constitutional changes. Unlike previous stages, the Senate debate has brought together members representing different political viewpoints, each presenting arguments supporting or questioning various aspects of the legislation. As debate concluded, Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Honorable Ziyambi addressed the Senate and expressed appreciation to members for their participation. According to the minister, 55 senators contributed during the debate, making it one of the most extensive discussions surrounding the bill. He thanked members from across the political divide for what he described as thoughtful and constructive engagement. Minister Ziyambi noted that Healthy parliamentary debate is an important part of Zimbabwe's legislative process. He acknowledged that although senators did not always agree, every contribution helped Parliament examine the bill more carefully before moving to the next stage. According to the minister, different opinions strengthen legislative scrutiny by ensuring that proposed laws receive detailed examination before final decisions are made. The minister also praised senators for maintaining respectful engagement throughout the discussions. Observers noted that the debate covered a wide range of constitutional, legal, and governance issues, with members offering different perspectives on the proposed amendments. Some senators strongly supported the bill, arguing that it would improve governance structures. Others continued raising questions about certain provisions and their long-term implications. One of the most important developments following the conclusion of debate is the bill's progression to the committee stage. This stage is often considered one of the most significant parts of the legislative process because lawmakers examine legislation clause by clause. Instead of debating the bill as a whole, senators now focus on each individual provision. This allows Parliament to consider proposed amendments, seek clarification, and ensure every section receives proper attention. Legal experts say the committee stage plays an essential role in strengthening legislation. It provides lawmakers with an opportunity to identify drafting issues, improve wording where necessary, and examine whether each clause achieves its intended purpose. Although much public attention often focuses on parliamentary speeches, the detailed work frequently takes place during this stage. Supporters of Constitutional Amendment Number 3 welcomed the progress made in the Senate. They argue that the bill has already undergone extensive discussion both inside Parliament and through public debate. According to supporters, the movement to the committee stage demonstrates that Zimbabwe's legislative institutions are following established constitutional procedures. Critics, however, maintain that careful scrutiny remains essential. They argue that constitutional amendments carry long-term consequences and therefore deserve the highest level of parliamentary examination. Some continue calling for maximum transparency throughout the legislative process and encourage lawmakers to carefully assess every clause before reaching final decisions. Political analysts say Minister Ziyambi's remarks were also significant because he acknowledged contributions from both the ruling party and opposition senators. In many parliamentary systems, legislation benefits from debate involving multiple viewpoints. Acknowledging contributions across political lines may help reinforce confidence in parliamentary deliberations and encourage continued respectful engagement. As the bill advances through the committee stage, Zimbabweans across the country continue following developments closely. Constitutional Amendment No. 3 has become one of the most discussed political issues of the year, attracting interest from political leaders, legal professionals, civil society organizations, and ordinary citizens alike. Every stage of the legislative process is therefore receiving considerable public attention. For many citizens, the constitutional debate extends beyond Parliament. It raises broader questions about governance, institutional development, accountability, and the future direction of the country. This explains why each parliamentary development continues making national headlines. Whether one supports or opposes Constitutional Amendment No. 3, the Senate proceedings demonstrate the importance of legislative institutions in shaping Zimbabwe's future. The transition from general debate to detailed clause-by-clause examination marks another important step in the parliamentary process. What emerges from the committee stage could influence the final version of the legislation before it proceeds further. For now, Minister Ziyambi's message is one of appreciation. He thanked senators for their participation. He welcomed the quality of debate, and he expressed confidence in Parliament's ability to continue examining the bill thoroughly as the legislative process moves forward. With the committee stage now underway, all eyes remain firmly fixed on the Senate. Zimbabwe's constitutional conversation is entering another decisive chapter. Do you believe the committee stage is the most important part of the legislative process because it examines every clause in detail? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you enjoyed this report, please subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications for daily Zimbabwe political news and analysis. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.